Ladies and gentlemen, Healthy Criticism here, and if you are not jamming with this beat, we cannot associate with each other. This is The Wandering Village, is what I'm presenting you today. It is developed and published technically by Stray Fawn for the both, but Stray Fawn Studio for the development, and then Stray Fawn Publishing for the publishing, as if the name didn't heavily imply such implication. So before everything, what we're going to do is going to take a look at the settings. And in the general settings, we have a few general settings. The UI scale, screen save zone, scroll sensitivity, movement sensitivity. Pretty sure you can read. You don't want me to read everything out for you. If you're driving, that's kind of weird. Autosave interval goes down to 5 minutes for some reason. 30, 20, 10, and 5 and off is what you are presented with. I like the 5. Would I have liked to have seen 3? Maybe, but 5 is still good enough, you know. We have one. That's what matters the most, right? And when you leave the game, you can save and quit instead of just quit. I digress. We're going to the audio settings next. We have master, music, ambient effects, and UI. As you can see, there's no word dialogue, should I say? I forgot the word for it. Slider, because there is no voice acting, unfortunately. There's going to be some reading if you want to follow the story. If not, you can just skip through it. It doesn't matter. The story is intriguing, but not everybody's cup of tea. I'm presuming. I kind of like it. I don't have any qualms with it. For the graphics, we got resolution, full screen, target FPS, which I don't know why it's a 144. There's no 165, which is what I have. But I do have VSync on, so my target FPS is going to be rather unimportant. We got shadows, anti-aliasing, texture quality, and water quality. Not a lot, you know, it's very bare bones, but that's the art style of the game. So there's not gonna be any blame here. It's serviceable, it's fine. For the controls, we have controls. You know, I don't really mess with them. Actually, for this game, this is one of the first few city builders that I have had to use the controls for shortcutting things, and I'll probably demonstrate in the video. I say I'm going to do a lot in videos, and I always forget to do that, so hopefully I'm held accountable in the future. Twitch integration, of course, and controller if you want to play with the controller. It's important that you want to play with the controller, or that you have the option to play with the controller, because this game, do you want to apply settings? Yes. This game is coming out on v1.0, version 1.0. The full release is coming out on July 17th. If you are on Steam, you are practically playing that version already. That the V1 release means that it's just going to be coming out on PlayStation 5 and the Switch. And the publisher has provided me codes for the game, so I will be doing a giveaway, and all the details for that are going to be in the description. But basically, just leave a comment on the video, and you will be automatically entered. And I'm probably gonna, let's see, today is the 15th. I'm going to give it a few days, probably on the 20th is when I'm going to do the lottery. So you have 5 days of an ultimatum. You choose. Now let's do resume game so I can show you what it looks like after you've played a few hours. I'll probably have 6-ish hours under my belt, so not a lot, but quite enough to kind of figure out what the game is all about. So I'm going to pause right here because everything is happening pretty crazily in this game. And this is where we are right now. We are at the back of the I keep forgetting what Onbu. We're at the back of an Onbu. It's a big giant creature. He looks pretty cute. You have commands that you can do. You can pet him if you want. You can spend some research data notes or whatever, and you can pet him, which is going to increase his trust to you. But we're jumping ahead of this. Yeah. First things first, you have your building, right? You can build things. You have categories for each building that you can build. So this is your village type buildings. You got your dirt road, your stone road, your tent, and what have you. You got your storage options, which is going to be for storing materials, water, food, etc. You got your food options, which is going to be water as well as farms, the kitchen. That did I say food storage? Food options. I don't know what I said at this rate. And this is going to help you cook things. It's going to help you turn raw ingredients into a meal that is going to be hearty, and it's going to be appreciated by your villagers, and they're going to like it a lot more than what just raw beets. Nobody wants beets. This isn't Shroot Farms, you know. We got the raw resources option here as well, which is going to be the collector for the seawater. If you want salt, you're going to be the sawmill, for example, the wood cutting camp. You got all these options here: your clay gathering, your mining, your quarry. Most of these things you unlock as you go by. You got your refined resources here, so you can refine the wood into planks and clay into, I don't want to build that, clay into bricks and what have you. This is the Onbu type food, the feeding trebuchet, of course. If you want to feed him some shrooms, we're going to do the interactions here. We're going to actually not sacrifice a human just yet, but we will be sending him some shroom balls at his face. And once there's actually an animation for it as well. If you take the shroom ball here, okay, here's the shroom ball going to the catapult. I'm gonna fast forward, then the catapult is gonna launch it into the air, into the space, and Onbu is going to devour it. It's kind of cute, you know. It's a little nice touch. It elevates the city building experience, because it puts you in this position where it's like, okay, you are no longer building in an island. You're not building in a mountainous area. You're not building in a camp or whatever. You're building at the back of a fucking creature. And what does a creature do? It fucking walks places, right? It goes places. And this is the world map that you see when Onbu travels through his adventures, right? I have an expedition going right now, which is right here. You can scavenge all these areas of interest. So you know the mine, you got the forest, you got the poison forest island. Each place has its own limitations. As long as you are scavenging within your circle, you can just do it freely. You don't have to worry about anything else. But if you want to go outside of that circle, you have to spend scavenging rations, which you unlock a building in order to generate those, which of course require food. And food can be scarce depending on what biome you're traveling on. Right now I'm leaving the desert biome, which means water is scarce, even though I'm doing pretty decently so far. But I'm going to be entering I believe it's a poison biome, because everything is fucking poisoned up in here. And a lot changes depending on the biome you're in. You can go on land, of course, and you can go on water. And right before you go into water, it's essentially a good idea to make sure that Onbu is rested, which is your sleep metric right here. You eventually will unlock a command that says sleep, and once you do that, it's gonna increase the amount of sleep, the effectiveness, I should rather say, that the Onbu will get while he's sleeping, or it is sleeping. I don't know its gender. I don't want to assume between 2025, right? So we're going to be entering this biome here as soon as you can see the separating line there. He's doing pretty decent right now on sleepiness, so I'm not going to have to worry about that just yet. And there's usually places where he sleeps that will increase his stamina. It's going to be mushroom flower beds or whatever the fuck it is. So just keep an eye out for that, right? You don't want to go in the water with him being sleepy. I've done it because I'm an idiot, right? But you should probably avoid doing that. One of the major obstacles that you're going to be facing eventually is resource gathering as far as stone goes, right? I am doing pretty decently right now because I have unlocked the quarry, which is here, and it collects stone from this boulder right here. You don't really want to mine these guys, the Onbu spikes, because they are part of Onbu, and it says here it can be harvested, but it uses Onbu trust. So you want to maintain that trust level with him as much as possible, or it, you know. Eventually, what you're going to be running into is temperature constraints, right? So right now, I'm having some constraints on temperature, but I'm going to be entering the new biome soon, so I'm not going to worry about changing much around here. So the cactus needs to be more hot, and I'm going to change to tomato right here. What else can I do? Corn, beet, and cactus. We're going to do tomato. This one is doing corn. We're going to be entering a normal biome, so I'm going to be switching to beet for this one. and the tomato here remains. And then we got the herbalist here that's going to be doing... The shrooms can... Fuck off. The shrooms can be used whenever. Shrooms are nice to have because you need food for Onbu eventually. So keep that in mind. Humidity is normal, so these guys should be collecting water right now. They are collecting water. What does that mean right here? Let's see. Affected by heavy pollution. Okay, so the pollution is the problem here. So that's another issue of this biome. The water you're collecting is a little fucked. It's a little polluted, right? So what you want to do is go to the evaporator here, and you want to do a crude filtration, which means they're going to take all that poisoned water, filter it with clay, and then they're going to turn into normal water. It's always best to check your clay resources. I have plenty of clay, which is always good to have. If you have your clay gathering camp here, right? If they cannot reach certain clay spots, you can hit C, and then you can tell your people to kind of harvest the clay manually, or you can go here and click the harvest button that is there. That's what I was talking about. I use shortcuts for this game a lot. Another new thing with the 1.0 release is going to be your research tree, right? You're going to go to the research here, and this is what it looks like. It's a lot, you know. As you can see, I would consider myself not close to mid-game, because the more you advance on the tree, the research tree, the more complicated it gets to update things, right? So right now, I need to unlock wheat harvesting, and it's fine, but it just needs 250 water, right? Water is such an imbalanced property for this game. It's a little absurd that I have. Let's see, we're gonna go on the air well here. If you highlight, it's nice because it show if you hover over, rather should I say, it shows you all the buildings that you've built so far, and it has this nice feature where if you click a building, it lets you cycle through all the buildings that you've built of the same type, which not a lot of city builders have, but it's always nice to see when city builders include that. So round of applause for that one. It's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, but not for everybody. Which is fair, you know. You design your game the way you want to. But even with what is it, 6 of these cunts right here, most of them upgraded, I still am struggling to collect water, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I would have liked to have seen an upgrade for filtration built into the water collector. Maybe it cost a few clay, like let's say 100 clay to do that. You know, that would have been really nice, but we don't live in that timeline, unfortunately. So the roads are not necessary, but they are recommended if you want your people to walk a little bit faster, to get places a little bit faster, right? As well as the storyline, that's another thing that's been added with the 1.0 release, but all you need to really know... Okay, so my guys have come back. Let's see, we got some medicine, we got the thing here. Let's see, his toxicity levels are really low. I can get some glass. I can get some... Nice, I can get some tools. Yeah, I definitely need to collect tools, so we're going to be doing that, which is really nice. I sadly do not have any more survival gear, so I cannot explore this to get the glass, or I cannot explore this to get fucking tools on this. But what are you gonna do, right? There's certain things. Oh, I can actually go to this. That's nice. Always nice to find tools, because as you can see, they are very limited. You can't trade for them, and it becomes really easy to do so. So this is the research, never mind. The trader, they are not here right now. I kind of missed them, but I have so many resources of certain things. For example, what is it? Planks, even wood. Like, I have so much wood and compost. Planks are high value. Stone slabs are high value, so you can actually really trade for some really nice tools. And that's kind of what I did, which allows me to build certain things and upgrades for my people, right? The premise of the game is very simple. The goal is to kind of... Oh, I didn't do that, did I? The goal is pretty simple, is to kind of keep fulfilling quests, and as you fulfill quests, the main line progresses, the main quest line progresses. You got your antenna tower here, which will be your focal point for advancing on... There it is right now. Onbu has stopped. Let's see what. Yes, the first ingredient should be there. You're looking for a large container labeled liquor omni. It should contain several vials. Take as many of them as you can. Got it. Our leader and I are going to lead a small scouting party inside. Are you sure you want to go inside, Elder? The concentration of poisonous spores is probably quite high in places. In places? In those places, maybe? Has Waldrod recovered from her last outing yet? I'm afraid she's dead. Da da da. Okay, so you get the idea. It's you have some interactions you can do here. Let's move. Pop that spore. I don't know if you interact with all these, but certain things you have to interact with. So here are those vials they're talking about. It's quite interesting to see how the story unfolds. I kind of ran through it for the video's sake here, but you get the idea. When you are going through these biomes, by the way, there's certain events that are going to be happening. This one, the poison biome, there's a lot of spores that spawn on your onbu, and it mostly happens when you go through certain things that show up in the path and kind of force you to go through them because you don't have another choice. That being said, Onbu never stops, right? Onbu will be going either northeast or southeast, but you're going east regardless. So keep that in mind. It's not something that... Is that a sandstorm? Light sandstorm. Walk through a sandstorm. So now we have to go southeast so we can fulfill that quest right there, right? You will never ever stop or go... Well, you can stop, but you cannot go backwards. What this means is that you're going to be looking forward. If you do not make a decision, Onbu is going to make a decision for you. That's the decaying structure that Onbu stopped on right there. So do keep that in mind. And that's what keeps the game interesting for me, right? You are not stationary. You're constantly moving. You're constantly going. There's events that happen all the time. Now you may say, okay, that's kind of what happens also on a regular city builder game. There's going to be destructions and this and that. Yeah, kinda. But this feels a little bit different, right? It doesn't feel the same as a normal city builder game. You kind of form an attachment with your Onbu. You have to take care of it, and it takes care of you. If Onbu dies, so does your whole village, and that's kind of game over at that point. You have to make sure he's rested. You make sure that the poison levels are low. You make sure that, it's not getting hungry, and you feed it. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. And there's so many ways that you can do that. You got your doctor that keeps the toxicity levels low. You got the petting simulation where the people will go here and start petting him, and he's kind of like that. I like my back scratched every night by my wife. It's something that we like to do as human men, like Michael Scott would say. There's two complaints I have with the game. Let's get to that part. The water collection is ass. I'm not a huge fan of it. As you can see, I have so many of those buildings, and it's still very, 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 very difficult to collect water. Having a poison doesn't really make things easier because you have to evaporate it, blah blah blah. That's the main complaint I have. And the second complaint I have is with the farms. What the fuck is up with the farms, right? This farm is fully staffed, and they're barely fucking doing anything. It's so slow to grow crops and to plant them, and to, like, even when I had 250 water, right? Before my researchers took some of it, which they're not really going to hold it. If the crops need water, the researchers, they're not holding the water. So it is taken from them. They're not really doing much. It's just, I don't know if it's because of the green here, but as you can see, it's been so long now. These are ready to harvest, and they're decomposing, and they have so much time until they have to harvest them. And once they start harvesting them, it's fully staffed, right? This is the whole area of the farm. Is it not designed to handle all that land? Then give me another person. Let me add another worker so we can get things going a little bit faster, how limiting is the lack of water? Whereas you saw, I had plenty of water. Only 14 out of the 22 is reserved. Now 17, but now have 25 available. So, you know, these guys are fully staffed and they're going as fast as they can. I just don't like how weak the water collection is, and I don't like how weak the farm performance can be. So now what I gotta do here is I have plenty of berries. I don't have plenty of beets. So what we're gonna do is gonna go into grilled tomato, because we have a lot of tomatoes. It's gonna give us some grilled tomatoes. They are a better type of food that we can have and give our people, and they're gonna be a little bit less angry at me, because that is usually what they're most angry about. Let's see, it was this one. We're gonna send the party. It just needs 2 scavenging rations. It's not a big deal. We can afford that. And I think that pretty much covers the game. Like, you now have the research, you have the storyline, you have the cutesy graphics, right? There's no fancy settings in the graphics because there's no fancy graphics to begin with, which is not a terrible thing. I don't mind the graphics at all for this game. They're actually pretty nice to look at. It's a little refreshing, kind of a breath of fresh air, if you may. I've seen multiple games out there that kind of try to do this art style, but they don't do it as effectively as this game for the most part. It's simple yet effective, right? It's adorable to look at. You kind of zoom in here, building disappears as you go through, and you're trying to look at the background. There's no rotation on the map. There's no pivoting. There's none of that fancy stuff. Now my Onbu is tired, and he's gonna. Let's see if I can command him to sleep. Yeah. Of course he's going to accept the command. He just evacuated its bowels and it's getting ready to sleep. So good night to you. And I think that's a good marker for the video to end as well. If you enjoy what you look at, that's essentially the game. I'm not going to really go through too much more detail on what you have to do, because, you know, some things you just have to explore and discover on your own, you know? So keep your people happy, keep Onbu happy and rested and fed and disease-free. Keep your people disease-free, right? Collect water. I cannot stress enough how much water you have to fucking collect. Collect water and feed your people. Do not give them beets, all right? Give them beet soup. Do not give them tomatoes. Give them grilled tomatoes and so forth. You got this. I believe in you. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. 17th of July is when quote-unquote v1.0 comes out. We have it on the Steam. Switch and PlayStation players do not, because they don't have the game. They're getting it. Giveaway, details, just leave a comment, whatever comment you want. Just don't tell me to go fuck myself. Say something nice if you can. And hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.